Okay, so today we're going to talk about units of measurements, and we're going to focus on gallons, quarts, pints, and cups. So we're going to be using conversions. So to convert means that we're going to change the form of measurement using different units, but without changing the size or the actual amount of an object or a liquid. So first, when do we use even gallons, quarts, pints, and cups? Those might be new words to some of you. So if you ever go to the supermarket, gallons can be seen from maybe a milk gallon. Quarts can maybe be seen of quarts of orange juice. And pints of ice cream. And cups of yogurt. So that's when we use gallons, quarts, pints, and cups, and every day. All right, so let's compare and convert. So if we had 1 gallon of milk, we would have 4 quarts of orange juice. And that's equal, those 4 quarts are equal to that 1 gallon of milk. So what that's telling us is that if I took that entire gallon of milk and emptied it out, and then took all 4 quarts of the orange juice and put it in the milk container, it would be exactly equal to 1 gallon. So 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts, and 4 quarts is equal to the 8 pints of ice cream. And 8 pints of ice cream is equal to 16 cups of yogurt. So let's look at the overall picture. If we look at the gallon and the 16 cups, 1 gallon is actually equal to 16 cups because 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts, 4 quarts equals to 8 pints, and 8 pints equals to 16 cups. So let's review. 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts and 1 gallon is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8 pints, and 1 gallon is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 cups. So this is a model that you can refer back to when you have questions about gallons, quarts, pints, and cups. All right, let's do some practice. So we all know that 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. We've said that a lot already. So if I were to show my work, I would put 1, because we're talking about 1 gallon, times 4 quarts. And you would get 4. And you can see on the chart that we're starting to fill it in. Let's go to B. 2 gallons equals how many quarts? So if I were to show my work, I would see 2 gallons, now it's a 2 because we're changing it to 2 gallons, times the 4 didn't change because we're still converting it into quarts. So 2 gallons times 4 equals 8 quarts. And you can also refer to the picture if you need to. Okay, 5 gallons. So this number here, the first one, should be, if you said 5, you're correct. So 5 gallons is now equal to how many quarts? So 5 times 4, because still we know that 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. 5 times 4 equals 20 quarts. Now this one's a little bit different because we know how many quarts we have, but we don't know how many gallons we have. So if we've been doing multiplication for each of them, what operation do you think that we'll be using now? If you said division, you're correct. So 40 divided by 4 equals 10. So 10 gallons is equal to 40 quarts. And on the bottom of the chart, you could see that there's a rule for converting gallons to quarts. So if you look, there's a pattern. So multiply the gallons times 4. And if you fill in the rest of the chart, you can look and see that you're going to do for 3 gallons, 3 times 4. For 4 gallons, 4 times 4. For 6 gallons, 6 times 4, and so on. Now we're going to practice with quarts and pints. So, if now we're doing 1 quart equals how many pints? If you forget, you can always look at the chart. So 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. And if you look and you see how we showed our work, it's 1 times 2. Now, we're changing it to 2 quarts equals how many pints? 2 times 2. This 2 still hasn't changed. So I want you to also be thinking about what this rule for converting quarts to pints is going to be. I want you to start seeing that pattern. So 2 times 2 is 4. So 2 quarts equals 4 pints. Now, 5 quarts. 5 times 2 equals how many pints? 10 pints. And just like last time, this one's a little bit different. We know how many pints, but we don't know how many quarts. If we've been multiplying the entire time, what type of operation do you think that we'll have to do here? If you said division, then you are correct. We have to do 20 divided by 2, because 1 quart still equals 2 pints. So we have to do 20 divided by 2, which gives us 10 quarts equals 20 pints. So what do you think the rule is for converting quarts to pints is? Multiply the quarts times 2. And if you look in the chart, if you did 3 times 2, 4 times 2, you can use these equations to fill in the rest of the chart. All right, now we're going to do pints to cups. So if you look at the chart again, you could see that 1 pint is equal to 2 cups. If I were to show my work, in order to get there, I would have to do 1 times 2 equals 2 cups. Now we're going to look at 2 pints equals how many cups? Showing your work would be 2 times 2 equals 4 cups. Now, 5 pints. 5 times 2 equals how many cups? And just like the last two, this one's a little bit different. We've been using multiplication, so this time we're going to use division. And how many pints is equal to 20 cups? So we know that we have to take the number of cups and divide it by a certain number. What number should we divide by? If you said 2, then you are correct. 20 divided by 2 equals 10. 10 pints equals 20 cups. So if you look at the pattern here, you can also come up with a rule for converting pints to cups, which is multiply the pints times 2.